Alright, well what's up my Glip Glops? It's your boy Glip Glop here, coming at you with a deck profile for Dark Worlds. Let's get started. Now before we get started, I wanted to let you all know that I was supposed to upload this a couple days ago. Because I was going to do it closer to that announcement of the new card, Dark World Brainwashing. And since that card's like I know it's getting pretty hyped up right now, and I guess people might want to see how the Dark World deck is like. And I have been playing this Dark World deck since I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually a couple years ago. Like I know it's older than a couple years ago, but yeah, this deck has been with me since about 2014, I think? 2014, 2015, something like that. I bought it when it was already out of the meta or whatever, it was getting unpopular, but it's still a really good deck, really viable, and if you set it up the right way, it could do pretty good, you know, in the modern meta, I guess. Anyway, let's get started. So, of course you got your 3 graph. You always need that. That's staple for every single Dark World deck. If you don't know what Grapha does, you discard him from your hand. He pops a card off your opponent's side of the field, or on your side of the field, I think. Let me see. Except Grapha, this guy's target 1 card. Yeah, once your opponent, not any card. 1 card your opponent controls, you can just pop it off the field. And he can get special summon when you return a Dark World monster back to your hand. So that could be pretty broken. You know, if you think about it. Anyway, then we got 3 triple snow. Also pretty staple. Most Dark World decks from this. She's like your fishing rod of the deck. She gets out everything you need. Every Dark World card. You know, when you discard her, searches out a Dark World card, and you can make off. You know, like a pretty good hand with this bitch. Anyway, then we got like triple brow huntsman of Dark World. He, I mean, you can run him at 2, you can run him at 3, sometimes he bricks, but I have him at 3 because I do discard a lot, and when you discard him, you get to draw an extra one, so he's your draw power. Plus, if you run the BA engine, he's an extra level 3, and if you detach Scarm, you can search him out and have a Dark World in your hand, so just in case your graph is in the grave, you can just summon, return, and, you know, get some broke moves off of that. Next I have 2 Silva. Now the thing is that a lot of people, I know they play gold, but I don't see why anyone would want to play gold, because it basically does the same thing as Silva. It's just that, like, there's an extra one where just in case your opponent, if they discard it from your hand, like, I think you put it on the bottom of the deck or something like that. But Silva and gold are basically the same thing. And I find that I used to play 2 Silva, 1 gold, and 3 Silva, but 3 could brick because it's a level 5, and if you don't have it, like if you don't have any out for it, you're pretty much fucked. And if your opponent uses Abyss Dwellers, you know, you're pretty much screwed. Dark Law, you're gone. So yeah, 2 I think for me runs pretty well. Anyway, and same thing with Beige. Beige I'm considering running at 3 though, because like you can make some pretty good rank 4 plays with him. When you discard him, he gets a special summoned automatically, and that's about it. But okay, it has like a really good combo capability. Like if you want to do go into a rank 4 and use a trance on this thing, you can just go straight up into that, or you can special summon it and then return it to hand for a Grapha, and you still have it normal summon technically, so you can normal summon this again, return it to the hand, and if you have another Grapha, bring that out. So yeah, you can make some pretty good combos. It's a pretty good combo piece. And that brings me to the next one, triple trance. A lot of people play 2, some people play 1. I choose to play 3 because I find that I like the discard outlet that it has, and also the fact that it can get your banished monsters, because you're going to be banishing a lot with this deck. And when it's destroyed, you can get one of your banished monsters back into the graveyard, and let's say it's a Grapha, you know, you don't have to worry about banishing that, because you can just get it back with your trance. So that's pretty cool. I like trance because of that. Also, if you use him with the Beige, like I said, you can do those, with Beige, you can do some pretty good combo off into pretty good rank 4s like that. Anyway, then we got, of course, the mini Burning Abyss engine with fucking Tour Guide and Scarm. You know, you bring out your tour guide, search out your Scarm, overlay into Dante, detach the Scarm, be able to get your brow, and it's just a pretty good setup. You know, like Dante is a pretty cool card. This can go straight up into a Dante. Yeah, it's I like that. And the last tech card is Scapegoat. Scapegoat is a card that my cousin showed me. You know, like it's got, it gets me like pretty safe. Like it gets me safe when I'm in a pretty tough situation. Like you have it flip face down, whatever, your opponent attacks it, or let's say they don't attack it for some reason. Like you could have it, then you just flip it. You can summon as many black, scapegoats, sheep as you want, tokens, black sheep tokens, that's what it says. You can summon as many of those as you want and make yourself a little wall for your opponent to hit monsters with, or like you can have that wall and then like use them as fodder for tribute fodder, you know, for your bigger monsters like Graph or something like that, Silva, whatever. Alright, so that's it for the monsters. And we're gonna go on to the spells. So for the spells, we got, of course, the standard gates of Dark World, triple gates, because you really need that fucking discard. So what it does is like you play it on the field, it boosts your monster's attack and defense. I think attack and defense, right? Yeah, attack and defense by 300. So Graph goes to 3,000, Snow goes to 2,000, I think Beige goes to 1,900, it's pretty cool. And you can get your monster's effect off of that, because their effects, you know, as if you haven't already noticed, they all work when you discard them. So, using triple gates is very viable because, like, let's say you have one gate here in the field. I didn't know this, like, before when I started playing the deck either, but when you have one gate on the field, you can activate another gate. This one goes to grave and do the whole move again, like banish, discard, and draw. Because its effect is that you banish a monster, banish a fiend type monster, discard one fiend type monster, draw one card, and you can do that twice. It says I don't even think, no, it doesn't even say once per turn, so like you can do it several times in the turn. So you use that, you can bam, go do it again. Another one. On the field. No, it does say once per turn. Yeah, like I don't know how that fucking works, but it's illegal to do. Like, I mean, I still don't entirely understand it. Like, I guess I gotta read that PSCT or whatever. I know I haven't taken the time to read that. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, then we go to triple dealings. Triple dealings is really necessary because, like, each person, each opponent, each person draws one card, discards one card. It can really help you really fuck your opponent up. If your opponent doesn't have a hand, they're gonna have to draw it and discard basically what they were gonna have as their hand. Sometimes it could be like a Regeki, Dark Hole, whatever, like, you know, it could be some pretty viable shit. You can fuck them up. And people, like, even if they have a full hand, they still get pissed that they have to let go of something in their hand. And I think that's a pretty cool thing to do with this dealing. Although a lot of effects now work in the grave, so sometimes they'd want to do that. I mean, either way, it's a pretty good draw card. Really good draw card for you and your opponent to a certain extent. Anyway, another draw card is Drag Down to the Grave. It's kind of like dealings, not really, but you play it, you and your opponent show each other your hand, and each of you, I think it was, I don't know, it's randomly or like, no, you discard a card from your hand, from either player's hand. And if you play this right, like, you set all your spell traps that are in your hand, and you leave only your monsters that all have discard effects. You activate this, and basically they have to pick their poison. I don't know, discard a Graph or discard. And let's say all you have is a Graph, dude, fuck, that's pretty OP because you're gonna have to, like, discard a Graph. They're gonna get one of their cards popped, and then you know, you can pick apart their hand at the same time. So that's pretty cool. I only play it at 2 because for me, I've found that it breaks when I play it at 3. Sometimes my opponent doesn't have a hand and I can't even use it. And other times, like, I just don't really need it, you know, like, I'd rather have another card in my hand. So on to the next draw power card. Allure of Darkness. So Allure of Darkness made waves last year, I think, when it was at $11. It's still a really good draw power card, because it came off the ban list. It draw 2, banish 1 dark monster from your hand. It's just really, really good to turbo through your deck with this card, to be honest. So yeah, 3 Allure of Darkness is necessary. Then 1 Twin Twister and 2 MSTs, because the Twin Twister's discard cost, it's a cost, so your effects won't get off when you use it. Also, I'd rather just straight up MST a card. Although, it is cool to pop 2 off the field. The thing is, your opponent can still chain one of the spell traps or whatever to it. So 1 Twin Twister I find works pretty good. You could put 2. I do have 2, and I've tried 2 before with this deck. But I mean, seriously, there were some times where I didn't even need to pop 2 out of the field. I just needed 1 or 2 cards that were problem cards. So yeah, Twin Twister 1 for me. That's it for the spell hits. Now we go to the one-offs. One-off. Dark Hole. I do play 1. I can play 2, but I play 1 because I'm not a dick. Yeah, Dark Hole's a pretty good out for when you're in a tight situation. Who doesn't like Dark Hole? And of course, Raigeki. Raigeki is one of those cards that everybody needs to have because sometimes you need to blow shit up. Oh shit, the great word is evil. Function evils. Anyway, Gateway to Dark World. I also play this at a one-off because at 3 it totally fucking bricks, and 2 I didn't really need it like that. I did play that 2 at one point, but it still bricked. So 1 I find is pretty viable because you can be in a tight situation where all your graph is in the grave or something like that, or you don't have any way to summon your monsters back. So you can use this as a quick out to special summon it. It could get negated, whatever, but it's alright. The only downside to it is that you can't special summon at all the turn that you use this card. So yeah, be very careful when you use it. Alright, so that's it for the spells. Now we go on to the last ones, the traps. This is where the Dark World Brainwashing will go in if I had it. But we're gonna start off with the card that I think they took the same design from and put it onto Dark World Brainwashing, Dark Smog. Although in Dark World Brainwashing it's graph in the bag, this one it's gold, and it has that dog from the Light Swords. I forgot what his fucking name is, but he's basically not here he looks fucking tense and shit like that, and the other one he looks like he's pussing out. Anyway, this is a good card because it picks apart your opponent's grave, and you also get a discard outlet from it. So it's kind of like a Gates, but without you having to discard from you having it banished from your own graveyard. What it does, and let me see if I can get it to the camera, but once per turn, you can target 2 monsters in your opponent's graveyard, discard 1 fiend type monster, and if you do, banish that target. So you can get their boss monsters are in the graveyard. The ones that they keep special summoning back, those annoying little pieces of shit. You use this, banish it, and then discard 1 of your own and make some pretty cool combo plays with that. I only run it at 1 because I think it's fair at 1, and also it's a pretty slow card, and you don't always need it. But when you can get this off and you have a Gates on the field, you're smooth sailing from there, dude. It's OP. Anyway, next up, of course, Eradicator Epidemic. This is limited for a reason, because you tribute off 1 2500 or more monster, which basically, graph is 27, and Silva can go up to 26 if you use the Gates of Dark World. And yeah, basically you have a lot of stuff that you can tribute off to activate this. Call spell or traps on the opponent, and they have to destroy every single one of those the named card types. So I remember hitting that Blue Eyes. You hit it with this, call spells, Blue Eyes is dead. Any card that runs mainly spells or mainly traps, you can just call one or the other, and basically half their plays are gone. This card can kill. It's pretty deadly. That's pretty good for that reason. And then we got another dick card, Dimensional Prison. This thing, I didn't know it was at 3 for the longest time, but it is. I still don't want to play at 1 because I don't really. I mean, Maybe I should get it at 2 or 3, but for right now, 1 is doing really well for me. I find that that's all I need right now. Because I also have a Floodgate Trap Hole. Floodgate Trap Hole really is viable. Well, it makes this deck more viable than it would be without it. And also Bottomless Trap Hole, which is really dick to use against your... Pretty standard for every Dark World extra deck. You got your Dante, your Levier, the Sea Dragon. For your rank 3s, Dante is pretty cool, you all know what he does. Levier could help your plays out when you got a bunch of banished monsters out. So yeah, you know, rank 3s. And for the rank 4s, you got Castel, the Sky Blaster Master. He's, yeah, Musketeer. Castel, the Sky Blaster Musketeer, he's really good. Popping cards off the field, sending them back to the deck, all that kind of shit. Number 39, Utopia. I would have Lightning, you know, if I could afford it, but Utopia is pretty viable for now, and he's got a pretty badass effect, so yeah, Utopia. Trap Tricks for Felicia, because, you know, you got 2 trap holes in your deck, and, you know, if you make her in the middle of a tight spot, you can get out your trap holes and, you know, do pretty good from there. And of course you got Silent Honor Arc. This really pissed me off when it was used against me in the past, so I got it, and I know I'm pissing people off. Yeah, it's a pretty good, pretty cool card. Like I said, there's gonna be a lot of rank 4 plays with the Beige and the Trance. You can go into any of these and you know, have a whale of a time. Right? All right, now we got this weird one, Aegon, the Sea Castrum, I guess. Yeah. So what it is, it's like it's a rank 8, right? You get 2. It's a generic rank 8. What it does is kind of like a Dimensional Prison. Let me see if we can get it to the camera. Okay, during either player's turn, you can banish 1 random face-down monster from your opponent's extra deck face up. And if you do, this card's attack becomes equal to the banished monsters during either player's turn. You can detach 1 or 0 from this card, target 1 of your opponent's banished fusion, synchro, or XYZ monsters, return it to the extra deck, and if you do, destroy 1 monster your opponent controls with the same monster card type, fusion, synchro, or XYZ. You can only use each effect of Aegon Sea Castrum once per turn. So, like, you know, it's very conditional, right? Like, it's not too OP, because the fact that you have to banish it face up, you know, they can get it back with a burial from a different dimension. But the thing is, like, I don't know, I don't really see that many people running burial different from different dimension anymore. And then if they do, like, the chances of them having it are really slim. And besides that, like, it can get out one of their extra deck monsters. So, like, if you're playing someone that's has zoos, right? Like, you can banish from one of their, like, fucking Tiger Warriors or Borbro or whatever. So, yeah, like, you know, you can get rid of their shit, basically. And I think it's an okay card. I actually don't even go into it that often, but, you know, like, if I was playing against someone that used the extra deck heavily, I would play this card. Even though it gets rid of 1, whatever, like, you know, it gains the attack. And a lot of the times, extra deck monsters' attacks are pretty OP. Anyway, besides this guy, another for the other level 8s, we got 1 Hieratic, Sun Dragon, Overlord, Heliopolis. Heliopolis, yeah, you all know what Heliopolis does. The Alu Akbar, blow off the field, all that kind of shit, you know, just, it blows shit up. Heliopolis is a good card. Then we got this, I forgot which one they compared this to, which meta card it was compared to, but basically, like, it's a rank 2 level 8s, you put them together, and you can attack your opponent directly while it has XYZ monsters. This card inflicts battle damage to your opponent. Oh yeah, when you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy it once per turn. During either player's turn, when a spell trap card or another monster's effect is activated, detach 1 XYZ material from this card. It only has 2,000 attack though, so that's okay. I don't go into him that often either, just like the Aegon, but if I was going to go for game, I would use this guy. Anyway, then for the last 2, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon and Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon. Now the thing is that Dark Matter Dragon and Tachyon Dragon work way better on the Blue Eyes deck, mainly because of this guy's effect. But the fact that you can attack twice with this guy and he's a 4K beater, and you can just overlay him on top of Galaxy Eyes. I mean, you can do the same thing with Galaxy Eyes too, like attack twice and shit, but I have OTK'd with this card. When I get the two graphics, I'll put it together and just like detach one, boom boom. Their field's open, do direct attack, and they're dead. Yeah, these cards are. I think they're not OP, but they're really fucking good. Yeah, that's it for the extra deck. And that is it for the Dark World deck profile. I hope you liked it. I hope you all start playing Dark Worlds because they have been out for a long time. It's about time they come back. I'm glad that this new Dark World Brainwashing, what it's gonna do. Like, I'm so excited that I can actually make the Dark World deck viable again. They're actually making it relevant. It brings a tear to my eye, tears of joy. This is something I've been really passionate about. Dark World is... Alright, hope you liked the video. Leave a like if you liked it.
Okay, I get it.
Fuck off.
Yeah, DNP, out.